Okay, on to problem set number 2. I want you to follow the same process you did for number 1. Talk to the text. Notate any confusion, words that present a problem for you. You don't understand what they mean. Pay attention to important numbers, words that indicate an operation that we're going to use. When you're finished, compare notes with your partner and then come back to the video. All right. Heather works as a waitress at her family's restaurant. Well, if she's working as a waitress, she probably earned some money doing that. Good for her. She works 2 hours every morning during the breakfast shift and returns to work each evening for the dinner shift. In the last 4 days, she worked 28 hours. If Heather works the same number of hours every evening, how many hours did she work for each dinner shift? Whenever I read word problems, I always kind of skim through it like that and look for the question first. How many hours? So that's what we're looking for. How many hours did she work during the dinner shift in the evening? Okay, and since it's how many hours, that might end up being our variable that we come up with. Variable, I'm going to make it a question mark, just in case it's not. Okay, so since she works at a waitress at her family's restaurant, she works 2 hours every morning. 2 hours every morning during the breakfast shift. Okay, 2 hours every morning. And then she returns to work each evening for the dinner shift. Interesting, it doesn't give us the amount of hours for the evening. So there we go. That might be our variable. In the last 4 days, all right, that number 4. 4 days, she worked 28 hours total. So if Heather works the same number of hours every evening, how many hours did she work each dinner shift? All right, let's come up with a tape diagram. Okay, here's our fancy piece of tape. This is Heather's 28 hours of work. And we know she worked 4 days, so we can split this 28 hours up into 4 parts. Each of these represents 1 day. And according to the problem, she worked 2 hours every morning. In addition to that, she worked some amount of time in the evening, according to the problem, each evening for the dinner shift. Well, we don't know how much that is, so let's make that a variable. Let's say E for evening. So in addition to her breakfast time hour, she's got some amount of time in the evening that she's working every day for 4 days. Perfect. Now we have our tape diagram filled out. Pretty sure we didn't miss any information. We have our 2 hours in the morning, some amount of time in the evening, 4 days, 28 hours. We're good. All right. So what I can do is pull out these numbers that I already know. There's 4 2s. Those 4 2s represent the amount of time she spent working in the morning. So this is her morning time. I'm going to take that away, subtract that from her total time. And now I have this amount of time left, which is how much total she worked in the evening. I have 4 E's. So 4 times E equals 20, that total amount of time for the evening. I can just look at this because I'm pretty good at my math facts and go, hey, I know that 4 times 5 equals 20. So that must mean she worked 5 hours every evening. And we should write that in a complete sentence.